Well, we're here. Let's beat the trial and battle the tome Pokemon.
Hello, newcomers. I got this video that's been keeping the totem Pokemon hiding, and I have no idea how to take care of it. So here's the deal. You help me with covering this video, and I'll give you the power crystal thingamashit. You win?
Well, the plot demands it, so let's do this. So the context for this situation is that a YouTuber by the name of Icyllya made a video discussing how Pokemon is ruining itself. This already sounds like a ton of fun, am I right, guys?
If you mean as fun as getting a sunburn in your eyes, then yes, it does sound like fun.
I found out about the game and the show about the same time back in 1999. I didn't have a Game Boy. This is why I have so many now, because I grew up wanting this thing, but my parents couldn't afford something like that. And it was around the time when I found out about emulation. So I didn't have a video game console, but I had an internet connection. So I was first dabbling with the whole stealing games on the internet thing. And it was around the same time that Pokemon became phenomenal worldwide. Now, I was already a little bit on the older side to be first getting into Pokemon. I was 15. And in fact, I was told that point blank by friends in the United States. I went to the US in December 1999, and I was very excited about Pokemon because the movie had just come out. And my friends were like, you know, that's for kids, right? I didn't get that back then. But anyway, I was first getting into emulation, and I was very excited to try Game Boy emulation because, like I mentioned before, I never had one growing up. And it was around the same time when the show became very popular. So when a friend told me, you know, that's actually a game for the Game Boy, so we should try it out, I started playing the game. I would school in the evening back then, and it was kind of like my own personal ritual. I'd be playing Pokemon for a couple of hours, then I'd watch the show just before going to school, and then talking to my friends who also loved playing Pokemon.
Wow. I am already left questioning why exactly this is here, and also why we're alive anymore.
So, this video starts off with you giving us a bit of history with the games. Good, right? Well, that's only if it's brief or could tie into your argument as to why Pokemon is ruining itself. Spoilers, it doesn't. This just adds up to pointless, boring filler that already gives me a reason to click off your video. And fun fact, this is seemingly the majority of the video because it drags on for so long.
Pokemon Fire Red was my Pokemon. It was inspired in Red, which was the one I played when I was younger, but it had those GBA graphics that are just, in the gameplay too, they improved a lot of things in that remake, so Fire Red was the one that I spent the most time playing. And I also had a little personal ritual when it came to Pokemon Fire Red. I'd play the game, and I'd get to like Cinnabar Island, and then I'd just lose interest, and by the time I tried picking it up again, months or even years down the road, I had no idea what I was doing in the game anymore, so I just start over.
Great. You liked Fire Red. You also lost interest at Cinnabar Island. Good for you. What does this have to do with Sun and Moon? Especially because Fire Red is far back into the series and isn't relevant anymore.
Even then, you lost interest at Cinnabar Island. Why did you lose interest there specifically? Please elaborate, or I can't take this seriously.
Look, guys, can we just, like, not keep this up? This history lesson does nothing to further the point of your video overall, and so it's just padding out the video. Acting like this is an actual point is pointless.
So I've had this connection with the game and the show. I haven't seen the show in forever. I'm not that big a man-child, I guess. But because I bought the new 2DS XL, and I made a video, I'm going to put the link in the description, comparing the 2DS XL to the Switch. Is getting something like the 2DS XL still worth it in 2018 when it's obviously not going to be supported for that much longer? And the Switch, the system that Nintendo is obviously going to pour more focus into, now is a thing. So check that out. Anyway, since I picked this up, it made sense to play Pokemon for the 2DS. So I got Ultra Sun because it's the latest and greatest. And I gotta say, why does this game act like it's the first game in a series?
Oh, I don't fucking know. Maybe it's because it could be potentially someone's introduction to the series. That's always a possibility.
This ain't no Famicom, Zolda!
I thought this was Big Rigs. Wait, what?
Like, you have no clue what Pokemon is. This is the hand-holdiest game I've ever played in my life. I was playing during my break at work yesterday, and 2 hours into my save file, I was thinking, I don't even think I have 20 minutes of actual gameplay in this game. It's all just, I understand that they're trying to build a story, but a lot of it is explaining to you how the game works. At this point in 2018, I've caught more Pokemon than I've caught colds. I know how to catch fucking Pokemon. Look, little kids, I have a 4-year-old half-sibling that knows how to play Pokemon on an emulator that his 10-year-old sibling installed on his cell phone. Side note, why do 4-year-olds have cell phones? I understand that he doesn't have a plan. My dad just gave him like a cell phone, a spare cell phone that he had lying around, I think. But it still seems like I couldn't have a Game Boy. Dad, you didn't buy me a Game Boy when I was growing up. This kid have a cell phone.
Because anecdotal evidence is the best evidence, right? Okay, in all actuality, bringing up anecdotal evidence doesn't help your point, since we have no idea if this is an actual thing and your 4-year-old half-sibling knows how to catch Pokemon. We can't take your word for it because we don't know if this is an actual thing.
Speaking of the anaconda, nice nosedive into a discussion about how the next generation is getting cell phones at age nepping 4. Oh, I'm sorry, did that anaconda thing seem out of place and unnecessary? Now you know how I feel.
Wait, what?
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
Slayer, I'm mad.
Aren't we all?
Ultra Sun NPCs are like that guy that you don't like, so you're coming up with strategies to walk by him without him noticing you. I straight up dread talking to NPCs in this game because they don't shut up. At one point in the game, I had to take this picture with my phone. The equivalent to Professor Oak, I'm a Gen 1er, I guess, so I can only relate to the original stuff. He says, you've got to learn the basics of being a Pokemon trainer through Pokemon battling. This is 2 hours into the game. I've battled and captured a whole bunch of Pokemon. And I've been playing this game for 20 years!
Wow, okay, not everyone is you. If you think catching Pokemon is simple and everyone knows how to because you've been playing for 20 years, then good for you. But some people might have only picked up the game when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out. Even then, they explained right after the tutorial that certain status effects can also help your catch rate, which isn't someone, unless they've gone through the catching tutorial, would know right away.
Even then, what you're saying is factually inaccurate. The scene in particular you're showing us is a scene that happened shortly after you battle your rival. So no, it isn't 2 hours into the game like you say. And also, I love how you completely ignore the context of that scene in question, because in that scene that you show as your example, Professor Kukui tells you that you need to go to the trainer school for the first step to becoming the Loli champion. I wonder why you would ignore something like that.
No! You know what? I don't! I know how to do this. Little kids can figure this out. It's not that complicated a game. Pokemon is surprisingly complex, but the gameplay can be picked up by anyone.
So the gameplay can be picked up by anyone, you say? Okay, so what about the basic strategy part about Pokemon that it's core difficulty? The basic new player wouldn't know about same type attack bonus, strengths, weaknesses, statuses, and how to deal with them, buffs, debuffs, moves, and even basic team building. It's not as simple as you're making it out to be.
You don't have to hold my hand for literally hours. There should be an option where you click a button, and it just like, oh, you've played this before. Like, a lot of games have this. You've played this before, you know how to do this. So let's just skip all the bullshit and get to the actual game you're trying. I only have a 30 minutes lunch break. Okay? Don't be teaching me that, oh, the Pokemon are in the tall grass, and then you throw these so-called Pokemon. I know this! I know this. Everybody knows this. This is one of the biggest video gaming franchises in the world. Not even just video games, because there's this, the TV show, there's movies, there's merchandise. It's one of the biggest worldwide phenomenons that we've ever seen. Everybody knows this stuff. Everybody knows.
I think that saying that quote-unquote everyone knows this shit is an incredibly bold claim. What about people who just got into the series? Is Game Freak supposed to sweep them under the rug just because you know how to do this stuff?
Also, everyone, what about North Korea?
Or the starving kids in Africa?
Or Dio.
Extreme or not, you did say everyone. We're just using your logic.
Speaking of extreme, your title is coming off as quite hyperbolic, don't you think? Literally, all you're criticizing is the tutorial in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Can that really be said as Pokemon ruining Pokemon?
Can you imagine walking up to somebody and like talking about Pokemon, and the person's like, oh, Pokemon? What is this? Can you even imagine that? Well, Nintendo and Game Freak obviously do, because they think everybody is that person. I'm this close. I'm not even joking. I'm this close to just quitting this. I don't remember X and Y being like this. I don't remember Diamond and Pearl, the last one I played before the 3DS, being like this. So maybe I'm just gonna give this one up and go back to the classics. Or even just finish Fire Red already. I'm at the Elite League already. Like, I just have to, people make fun of me, you know, for having a Pokemon tattoo and never beating the game. I should probably have not said this, because now I guess you guys are gonna do that too. Which means I'm gonna steal that from me. I'm gonna beat that game this weekend. Out of spite. Not even to have fun, out of spite.
Oh no, another nosedive!
Wait, what?
Everyone out of the way of the plane!
I call new ruler of the Cloud Palace!
No, fuck you, I'm still alive.
How though?
I mean, Silver can do anything if we believe in him enough.
Anyway, let me know, like, is this a me? I know I have issues focusing and paying attention to things, so that maybe this is why this affects me more. But last night, it just bugged me so much that Nintendo and Game Freak and my 2DS by extension are acting like I have no idea what a Pokemon is. And I find that even a little bit offensive. To be honest, I find that a little bit offensive even. But what do you think? Did you play the game? Did you find it just fine? Or do you agree with me? There's just too much hand-holding where really at this point, I think they can afford to assume anybody buying this game has played a couple of Pokemon games in the past.
Wait, that's it? That's it with the entire video? So the reason why Pokemon is ruining Pokemon is not any significant drop in quality, but because of the tutorial. That makes so little sense that I think it's turning me into Jonah. Heck, I need a Tide Pod right now.
Wait a minute, I thought that meme died.
The memes die when I die.
But now that the video is basically over, as all he does is just tell us to comment, I think we should just jump into our final thoughts.
So, Izzy, what do I have to say about the video? Well, let's start off with the point you're trying to convince us with the title. You're basically trying to convince us that the Pokemon series is going downhill, yet all of the points you bring up against the game are just the tutorials from the beginning, which doesn't actually affect the series as a whole. So you know what that makes the title? Clickbait. As you're misleading your audience into thinking the video is going to be about the downfall of the Pokemon series. Honestly, this video just seemed as a way to get more views, and honestly, that's really pathetic. If you're going to explain why a franchise is going downhill, explain more than just one aspect of the game. That'll make much more insightful than,
oh, the tutorials, I mean.
Hopefully this helps.
So ho ho, here's the power crystal, now go on you plebs.
Yay, we're the champions, I guess. That's how that works, right?
Well, this has been fun. Now let's make fun of the Jonatic ship.
Wait, why?
Don't ask why. Let's make fun of the Jonatic ship.
Well then, we shall make fun of the Jonatic ship.
Yeah!